President. 10 days ago, I emailed to you and have delivered to you 5 goals that center around the focus for this year. I wanted to, most of all, give you an opportunity to ask any questions regarding these goals, should you have any, and provide any clarification. Goal number 1 was to transition the administration and teachers in the direction that focuses on the elimination of the school-to-prison pipeline. In my mind, the most important aspect of this program is that any students who violate our zero tolerance policies would remain within our district, in our program, with the intent of providing them an avenue to recover from a mistake, but not exiting them from our responsibility as students within this community. Also, to ensure that there are some processes put into place to eliminate the out-of-school suspensions of students in the Alhambra School District. As I remarked in the Celebrity Theater to all staff members, I read every out-of-school suspension report in the Alhambra School District over the course of the summer, and I share with you that about 75% of them should not have happened. So going forward, out-of-school suspensions will not be reactive, I will be proactive. They will come through my office first. With that, I'm prepared to answer any questions that you might have regarding that goal. There are no stipulations. Those violations that would be zero tolerance, we brought a weapon or sold drugs, which are the 2 primary. As long as a student wasn't injured, I mean, you can always have the atypical situation that might occur, as we all know, but when to prevent a student from being injured or those sorts of things, no, they would go into the program. They would go into the program. The program entails a pretty thorough overview with the student's parents, a home visit to the parents. As you can see among the action steps, there will be an outreach to be proactive with many of our male students who pretty much occupy the seats in programs of that nature, to prevent them from having those poor decisions that land them in those programs. So no, we can never absolutely say that every student would remain. We don't know what might happen. I'm just going to be prayerful and hope that nothing of a critical nature like that occurs. But all in all, generally it's the selling of drugs that nets an individual into the program, or bringing a weapon not with the intent of using it or harming anyone with it, but showing it off, which still presents a hazard to the health and safety of students and staff. I might also add that in my update to you for this week, scheduled an opportunity for you to join me in this program. I hope that you will make the time during your schedules to do so. The program is being housed at Granada Primary School, and so yes, we would go over to Granada Primary School and go to the program there. We currently have 5 students that are enrolled. 1 additional student was eligible for enrollment, but their parents opted a different program, which is their choice. So, okay, thank you.
The students that are already enrolled in last year.
Or previous years, yes. Now, this program is called Living Out. So our intent is to, after a 45-day period of time, 9 weeks, that they would return to some campus in the Alhambra School District. May not be their home campus, but they would transition back into one of our regular programs. In doing so, it's important to note that it's not a special education program. It's not an alternative to special education. They have to be students that present just a atypical situation. In my experience is it's just a silly mistake that they made. And unfortunately, what we know is when they are out of our care, then they don't attend the alternative programs. That's a dropout in the making, and a dropout in the making. The statistics regarding either their death rate or incarceration rate is more than any cost that we expend on this program. Second goal, promote a shared vision for academic skills to ensure success and a vision to go to college. And that we focus on some additional strategies, 3 significant strategies in terms of the final implementation of the college and career ready standards, as well as in my updates I talked about focus that all of the English language arts and science coaches that were participating in to push forward our reading and writing initiatives, and then professional development, and what we'll be focusing on in that area as well. The next goal, of course, is to continue to maximize our financial resources, primarily looking at making certain that the expenditures under our business services department that are dealing with our first-time capital override funds that are directed toward transportation and facilities, that we're judicious in the monitoring and expenditures of those funds, making certain that we provide to the community students exactly what we said that led our community to support and vote for that initiative. Also, if I may call your attention to number 4, it says to proactively project salary schedule proposals inclusive of state funding restoration possibilities. I'm sure that you are aware of a recent lawsuit that was won but is now in an appeal, that we are hopeful at some point they will stop kicking the can down the road and adequately fund, better fund. I don't know that Arizona is ever going to adequately fund, but that they will better fund educational processes that our children deserve. But in the event that that happens, one of the most critical concerns from educators is that for the last 4 years there has been no increase in funding. We know how much money was cut from public education, but if any of that is restored, I do believe that I will share with you that my first request of you, and believe that you should reciprocate a request to look at how to provide a salary increase to the staff in the district. To hire and retain exemplary staff. We know that over the past number of years, particularly in my mind due to the accountability factors in public education along with cuts in funding, there has been a hemorrhage of teachers, not just in the Alhambra School District, statewide, and of course nationally. As a matter of fact, in your back-to-school information, I shared with you some national statistics that in an environment such as that in the Alhambra School District, the turnover rate of teachers is twice that of an affluent school district. This past year, I am proud to say that we trimmed our turnover rate by 5% and have the intent to ensure that happens again. But a list of targeted events and activities to ensure that we can not only attract but retain our quality staff. When we speak in terms of our academic program and the infrastructure that has been built, one thing that we've done is pump $1.2 million per year into staff development, ensuring that our coaches and our building level administrators, as well as our district office academic staff, have a strong hold on the Arizona College and Career Ready standards. I'll be a little bit braggadocious and say that I believe that we are far better prepared than most, and as prepared as any to deliver these very rigorous and complex standards. And when a teacher leaves, then our resource walks out the door with them as well. So being prudent in our expenditures, it is in our best interest to maintain the staff that we judiciously train.
At this point, I want to thank you especially for number 3 and number 2 to reduce that turnover, and also number 3 to actively seek information from the whole district. That's nice.
Okay, thank you. And then the final goal, guarantee a high approval rating for the Alhambra School District from its students, parents, community, and teaching force. The Alhambra School District has a strong name in the education community. It remains a strong name in the education community. And we intend to ensure that that continues. So a list of events and areas of focus through surveying of our students, our parents, our teachers, and making certain that we provide concrete evidence that the Alhambra School District is respected internally as well as externally. And that would be the major focus of that goal. If I may, there are no questions or comments there. I want to call your attention back to the second goal, promoting academic skills and digital college. Among these goals is also a goal that talks about our coaches, both in our schools as well as our district coaches, our academic services team, targeting individuals whose academic performance in the classroom was extremely detrimental to the overall performance of particular schools in this district. When you look at the negative impact that 10% of this teaching staff had on the 90%, the performance of the other 90%, it is totally and completely unacceptable. We are going to provide direction through both site coaching plans and district coaching plans, offering support services to those individuals, but being tolerant of individuals whose non-compliance results in children being the collateral damage. And again, offering the individuals the support to help them be successful in the classroom, but not fighting them anymore in terms of their resistance. So I did to highlight that. I want to bring that to your attention as well. And that, I'm open to any questions, concerns, or comments that you have regarding any of these goals. I will bring them back at our next meeting for your adoption. Mrs. Sanchez?
Just going back to what you just said, did you, and maybe you said it and I didn't catch it, did you say that the teachers that are not at the level that they should be, did you say that their teachers around the district, or did you say primarily focused in one area? Or did you not say anything else?
No, what I said is 10% of the teachers in the lowest performing schools' performance had an exponential impact on the performance of the other 9. And I'm not at liberty to call the names of staff members, but any conversations that you have going forward with anyone, particularly those who complain, I would ask them what their student achievement results were. Does that answer your question?
Well, I wanted to know more than that, we'll just, no.
Well, but we know that there are probably, every school is going to have some teachers that are on some coaching. But there are some schools whose low performance may be here, and then there are other schools who have individuals whose low performance is way down there. So even drastic difference between the low performers. When you sit at a grade level and you perform 30, 40, 50% lower than the next lowest performing individual, that's a great concern. And I don't mind sharing that there are some results that are so low as a teacher, and I do consider myself a teacher. I have no idea how that happened. The analogy that I've heard is, did someone stand in front of the class and read off wrong answers for the kids to mark? I mean, there are some that are totally and completely inexcusable. And I repeat my comment to you that you ask individuals about their student achievement results. I believe it matters. It certainly matters to the lives of our kids. Mrs. Alvarado?
I totally agree. I think that I'm also a retired teacher. I've been in education for over 30 years. And it just blows my mind to see that we have teachers in front of our students that would not do everything in their power to teach the children the skills that they need, especially in a district like Alhambra, where they are given so many opportunities, the staff training, right from the passion that we have on let's do it, winning together. The support is there. It has been offered. If it isn't taken, we want to know why. Because certainly it is we in the Alhambra, the board, the superintendent, our staff is investing $1.2 million is staggering per year. And when it is offered, let's take it. What is it that's keeping a teacher from not asking for help or taking the opportunity to be trained. I do agree that education is changing because we do have more accountability. There's more and more of a challenge. Kids are learning differently, teachers are teaching differently. I see that as a plus. I think the teachers want to learn new skills and how to reach out to our students because our world is changing. And we need certain skills like critical thinking and learning how to solve problems and learning how to get the answer. They don't have to memorize everything, but they have to learn how to get the answer. And I know that as a board, we have been given a lot of help through McKeesa. We even applied through Dr. Superintendent, Dr. Williams applied to be part of a multi-district grant. And McKeesa did come out, and we developed the learning observation tool together. It is not something from the outside. The districts together decided that what does it look like to have a proficient teacher? This is what it looks like. So we all, combined our heads to, put our heads together, and we all decided. I know we did some brainstorming, and we came up with certain characteristics that can define what an effective teacher is. So it is not something that is coming from the outside or from other levels of government. We want our children to be prepared for college. We want our children to be ready for career. And so part of our team effort is to have teachers as part of the team. And I know that a lot of teachers stay after school, they work with the parents, they do the staff development. And so I think an added responsibility for us is to look at the gaps. I'm going to call them the gaps. Something was not happening. We assumed that it was happening. We were thrilled that lots of success stories were out there. But the gaps, we missed them. And so I think we are going to be looking for those gaps this time and seeing if we can again offer the training, the support, and the encouragement to help all students. And I think we're going in that right direction.
Well, I think it's important, again, to know that the Alhambra School District sits in the center of the 6th largest city in the United States of America. It's a district of 70 languages, a district reflective of the world, and that means that it sits on a bottomless pool of talent waiting to be unleashed. And through highly effective teaching, we can make every one of our students successful. Each deserves no less than a teacher who cares about them and who is willing to put in the time, the effort, and make whatever sacrifices necessary, because we choose this as our profession to make certain that we pass on to each of them what we receive.
I really think I have an idea as to what the gaps are. I think some people have always been teaching one way. They cannot understand that it's not that way anymore. You have to share with the students. You can't just preach to them. You have to make sure that they understand what's going on, and it's sharing anymore. At one time it never was. You didn't share with your neighbor as to how to do this, but they've changed that. And if a teacher is stuck in, I'll say they're just stuck in their old ways and they cannot change that, then they don't belong here.
That's it in a nutshell.
Rub a nut.